Hello fellow brawlers, I am KairosTime and it is time to brawl. Today we're going to be talking about everything that we know is coming in the next update in Brawl Stars, and I'm also going to speculate on some of the little details, so this is going to be kind of fun. First of all, I wanted to give credit to Dreamin8bit on Reddit for doing the amazing Brawler artwork for the thumbnail that you saw in this video. She's done amazing work for the community and also has done some amazing work for me. Make sure you check her out, there's a link in the description below. Now let's go ahead and talk about what is coming in the newest Brawl Stars update. Okay, so recently there was somebody that was posting on Reddit. They were just like, hey Brawl Stars, like we want a little bit of a status update, and they took the time to actually clarify a little bit on what is coming in the future, so I'm very excited to bring that to you guys. I talked a little bit about it in my community tab for the channel, but today we're going to talk about a little bit more details and some speculation. Now there are two Reddit posts where Brawl Stars actually leaked some information on what they're planning on covering in the future update. I'm going to put the links in the description below if you want to see exactly what they said. But the very first thing we're going to talk about is that they are working on some neat social features, okay? Then when I see neat social features and read the words, make it easier to brawl with friends, I'm immediately thinking an in-game friends list that does not require Facebook. So basically, somehow in-game, if you're able to click, every time you click on someone, then you can basically like send them a friend request, be like, hey, add friend, right? And then they're able to like accept it or deny it. I would also really love it if this update included an option to friend randoms after a match. So let's say you play with some randoms, they're really good, you're like, man, these guys were awesome, I want to play with them again. Go ahead and send them the friend request, and then hopefully they'll accept it, and if they do, then you guys can team up again and actually like be friends, like make friends with each other and go crush some more players, because you guys killed it the first time, so of course you want to do it again. As far as some other neat social features, I'm thinking it would be really fantastic if they actually increase the band size one more time. Maybe 150 people per band or even 200 people per band. The reason why I say this is because it's really difficult for like the average band to actually like have enough people online and active at a time so that people can actually pair up and play against each other. I think increasing the band size would be really fantastic. I don't know if that's something that they're actually working on, but it would be a cool neat social feature that I'd like to see in Brawl Stars. The next thing that Brawl Stars said they're going to be working on is improving the trophy progression system. Okay, there's been a lot of issues with it. Basically, there's like not really even a reason to push in Brawl Stars. There really isn't at all. Like, you just go on, you play some matches, you earn your keys, and like the perks that you have playing at 50 trophies are the exact same thing as the players that are playing at 9,000 trophies. Like, there's no difference. Trophies really do not matter or mean anything other than just to show off to your friends, which I do like to show off to my friends. But their goal is to try and make it more appealing as a goal to strive for. So basically like a reason to actually climb and push trophies. This is a really cool idea. What I would love to see, and what I've talked a little bit about in the past, is some type of a league system, right? With special rewards at the end of each season. So like skins, or maybe even gems to buy those skins, or to use the gems how you want to use them. Maybe even like power points that you can assign to specific brawlers that you want to focus on. Maybe even lots of gold, maybe keys to open up boxes at random or something like that. That's kind of what they're doing right now, but like an improved league system. Hopefully they'll make something so that it's more worth it and that you want to actually go for it. Now the next thing that they said that they're working on, and I know that you guys are excited about this because I am excited about this, they're testing adjustments on auto aim, right? To try and make auto aim not so dominant is what they said. This is actually really great. I wrote a massive post about auto aim and the issues with it, and I could honestly talk about it for, let's just say that you don't have time for that. But they need to do something to make it so that auto aim just isn't so overwhelmingly used and not so dominant. The first thing I think that they need to do something to make it so that auto aim just like, you can't just spam auto aim, right? Because I think the problem that people are having right now is you're in a bush on Feast or Famine with Bull, you just spam that auto aim button, and then as soon as somebody shows up, the person that's been spamming it the most is going to win, because how fast those fires happen, and like, it's not fun, there's no skill in it, and that spamming needs to be taken care of. I don't know how they need to do it. Maybe they have like some type of a delay between auto aim shots or something so that you can't do that. Also, maybe some ideas would be to add a damage buff to aimed shots to make it more worth it for you to actually aim shots. And then some type of maybe even a small delay on auto aim shots or something like that. I don't know exactly all the details, but let me know what you guys think as far as like the best way to nerf auto and make it so it's not so dominant in the meta. Now I know a lot of my viewers out there are Android viewers, and I love you guys. Well, regarding Android viewers, Brawl Stars said that they are working to improve the new tutorial. I'm sorry, guys. I know that was mean. That was really mean. But they're working to improve the new tutorial, trying to make it a little bit more, like, better, easier to understand, make it a little bit more in-depth so more people stick around in the game a little bit longer. Really excited about that. My hope is that at the end of the tutorial, they reward with more than just one starting brawler, right? I hope that they do a better job at explaining the user interface. I hope that they actually teach more than just one game mode. And I really hope that it would at least end with them unlocking a second game mode slot so that the new players can actually see, hey, there's more than just bounty, there's more than just gem grab, there's more than just that one game mode that you're seeing right there. I think doing all of these things would be a great benefit for the new players and help them see the depth, have a better vision of the depth that the game actually has to offer. Another thing that Brawl Stars said that they are possibly working on, hopefully for the next update, is a new brawler. Now I got some sweet new brawler concept and ideas right here. I'll go over them with you here shortly. First off, Guillermo the Sumo. Okay, now I know that I just mixed cultures like a Mexican sumo wrestler. That should be interesting, but I think that'd be pretty cool. Art similar to like El Primo with some type of a mask or something like that. Basically, he'd be a melee brawler that body slams a wave in a circle kind of around him. So he does area of effect damage all the way in a circle around him. And then for his super, he like reaches forward, and if he gets like within a closer-ish range to people, he pulls an enemy brawler right onto him and then body slams him with some type of like a small damage, right? Then his star power would be adding some type of a small stun to that slammed brawler. So he pulls him in, slams them, and then they're stunned for a little bit so he can spam his attack, and that then his friends can kind of spam him. He wouldn't do a ton of damage. He'd probably be more like a kind of a control brawler, maybe a little bit of a tanky offense kind of a thing, or something like that. I don't know exactly all the details, and supercell could obviously balance that, but kind of a fun brawler. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Second brawler I think should be added into the game is Tinder the Fire Archer, okay? Think of Bo, but maybe like a female version of Bo, right? A little bit cuter than Bo, kind of like maybe an eagle hat that's all like on fire or something like that. She would basically have a medium range straight shot that deals small burn damage. So she just like have one shot, she'd like let go of her arrow, and either maybe like 3 arrows right in a row, like right in the exact same line, not like an arch like Bo does, or just like one shot, right? Like a bow with a fireball at the end of it, right? Basically, you could think of this kind of like as a little bit of a free-to-play version of Crow, right? Where she does slow over time burn damage, maybe not as long as Crow, some kind of different characteristics, but maybe a little bit more free to play, right? So that would be kind of cool. Her super would be a firebomb that she can throw over walls or whatever, and causes small damage, you know, like not very much damage, but kind of like an area control area, like people got to stay away from there while it burns for a little bit, or if they get in the flames, then it's going to deal damage over the time, or if maybe it lands and it explodes, and that will do the main amount of damage, and then people still caught in the flames will kind of burn or something like that. Her star power would cause other brawlers to catch fire if they touch an ally enemy on fire, right? So like she hits me with a shot and I'm like, I'm on fire, and I go over to Lex and I'm like, hey Lex, hug me, and then he gets on fire and we're all running around like idiots on fire, right? Not a ton of damage, but something to kind of like add a little bit more control and uniqueness to her. Third brawler idea, right? Okay, you saw the artwork for this on the thumbnail. Joy, the undead nurse. Okay, with art kind of similar to Mortis, you know, kind of like that grave-ish kind of thing. She would be basically a single point healer that shoots maybe like syringes at enemies to deal medium damage, right? So like not a ton, but deals kind of like a little bit of damage. Then her super is where she will shoot a syringe at a single friendly brawler, okay? Now currently we have 2 healers that deal area of effect damage. This would be a single target heal that would kind of be like a burst heal, like all of a sudden they're like whoop, like El Primo would bring him like a ton of HP up, maybe like 3,000 or something like that, but it can only happen with one Brawler. Then her star power would add a kind of like, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe like stim boost or something like that, but it would basically add 10% speed and damage buff to the Brawler hit by that super for about 10 seconds. Kind of some unique Brawler ideas. Let me know what you thought about them in the comment section below. Let me know which one would be your favorite. Either Guillermo the Sumo, Tinder the Fire Archer, or Joy the Undead Nurse. Let me know that, guys. Lastly, in the second post that they commented on in the Reddit in the section below, they said that maybe they will be able to release some type of a new game mode if time permits. If time permits. I don't know what that means, but hopefully it means it's coming soon, right? My idea, I've got 2 ideas for sweet new game modes I think would be a ton of fun. First of all, a 30-man ticketed showdown event. Right? Basically, where you get to choose your starting location. So you come up, you have maybe like 10 seconds to choose your starting location. You can see where all the brawl boxes are. Then you tap where you want to start, and you can see where other people are tapping, right? So you like are either trying to go into a concentrated place where there are lots of boxes, or maybe even like avoiding everybody. That's what I would probably do most of the time. And then the matches basically would have a map size about twice as large with triple the amount of boxes. So it's like a really kind of close in, lots of boxes to fight over. Just a ton of fun. Matches would ideally last 5 to 6 minutes long, and then there would be a key reward based off of how well you did in the actual event. I don't know if 30-man would be good or not, but that sounds like a blast to me. The next game mode that I think would be super fun to add in there is actually an idea from Wild Clash. Now, Wild Clash is kind of like a pretend Brawl Stars on Android, and it's in beta testing, and it's overall okay. It's not nearly as amazing as Brawl Stars, but they do have one game mode on there that I love to play, and that is their tower defense game mode. Okay, so it's basically like Heist, where you have safes on both sides of the map, right? Red team, blue team, and the goal is to try and deal as much damage to the enemy safe as possible by the time limit is up. If you're able to clear the safe before the time limit is up, the game is won, and you rock. This would be a 4v4 with 2 primary lanes with an indestructible wall, center wall. I actually designed a map that you can test out, kind of look at. It's pretty sweet. I think you should check that out. And then there would be like a bunch of power-ups on the map so that you could try and like build up your power-ups. There would be like a lot of competition against the enemy team, like take someone out, push them back, and take their power-up boxes and things like that. And basically be a fight over getting enough power-up boxes so that you can actually overwhelm your enemy team to get to their safe. Now, if you die and you have 10 power-ups, then you lose your power-ups. So that's definitely how it can result in like kind of a swing or things like that. Especially if you get 10 power-ups, you get up close to the enemy safe, and then the enemies all respawn and come and take you out. Like, there's a lot of strategy that could go and be involved with this. Ideally, matches would last 3 to 4 minutes, and like I said, the team that dealt the most damage to the enemy safe wins, or if the safe is taken out, the match would end out early. We do know that they're working on new social features. We know that they're working on improving the trophy progression system. We know that they're working on some type of adjustment to auto-aim and make it not so dominant. We know that they have revamped the new tutorial, and they're feeling good about that, and that they're hopefully going to include some good things in there. We know that they're working on new brawlers, and that they're hopefully going to be adding at least one new game mode into the next update. Anyways, guys, you'll have to let me know what you thought about this. Make sure you comment in the section below. I promise you that I will respond to your comment if you post it within the first hour of this video going live. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.